The wilderness has always been a place of wonder, but it's also where the line between awe and peril is razor thin. What starts as an exhilarating journey into nature's splendor can take a dark turn, transforming adventure into chilling tales of survival gone wrong. From the unrelenting power of the elements to split-second decisions that lead to devastating consequences, these stories expose the untamed danger that lies beyond the trailhead. Here are 5 more outdoor adventures that ended in unthinkable tragedy, a proof of nature's indifference to even the boldest of human spirits. The iconic Half Dome in Yosemite National Park has been a symbol of adventure and natural grandeur since the mid-1800s, when American settlers first began exploring the region. Towering 4,800 feet above Yosemite Valley, this crescent-shaped granite formation captivates visitors with its striking beauty and promises of awe-inspiring panoramic views. For many outdoor enthusiasts, reaching the summit is a bucket list achievement, representing both a physical challenge and a deep connection to nature. However, the allure of Half Dome is accompanied by significant dangers, making it one of the most challenging and hazardous hikes in the park. In September 2019, a tragic incident underscored the risks inherent in the climb. Danielle Burnett, a 29-year-old woman from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, lost her life while attempting to reach the summit. She fell 500 feet from the section of the trail where climbers must use cables to steady themselves against the steep exposed granite. According to Yosemite spokesperson Scott Gedeman, Burnett lost her footing on this precarious stretch, leading to her fatal fall. Emergency responders located her body shortly after the incident, but the tragedy left an indelible mark on the hiking community and prompted park officials to investigate the circumstances surrounding her death. The Half Dome hike is widely regarded as one of Yosemite's most iconic yet physically demanding trails. Covering a grueling 17 miles round trip, it requires hikers to ascend 4,800 feet in elevation. The journey culminates in a steep, nerve-wracking climb, aided by cables bolted into the granite to assist hikers in navigating the final stretch to the summit. This last portion of the trail, while offering unmatched views, is notoriously challenging, requiring both physical endurance and mental resilience. Yosemite National Park itself describes the Half Dome route as a premier attraction, but frequently emphasizes its difficulty and the preparation necessary for a successful ascent. To manage the risks and the immense popularity of the trail, permits for the Half Dome hike are distributed through a lottery system. This approach helps limit the number of hikers on the trail each day, reducing congestion and minimizing the potential for accidents. Despite these measures, incidents still occur, often as a result of unpreparedness, overconfidence, or underestimating the trail's demands. Common issues include dehydration, fatigue, and misjudging weather conditions, all of which can quickly turn a challenging hike into a dangerous situation. The cables on Half Dome are both a lifesaver and a source of danger. Installed to provide support for climbers ascending the steep granite face, they allow hikers to pull themselves upward while maintaining balance. However, their effectiveness depends on the conditions and the hiker's experience. Rain or other weather changes can render the granite slippery and the cables difficult to grip, significantly increasing the likelihood of slips and falls. While the park recommends using a safety harness to secure oneself to the cables, this precaution is not mandatory, leaving many climbers vulnerable. Danielle Burnett's death highlighted these vulnerabilities, serving as a reminder of the risks associated with such an ambitious outdoor adventure. Burnett, like many others, was drawn to the allure of Yosemite's beauty and the personal triumph of conquering Half Dome. Her loss underscores the importance of proper preparation, situational awareness, and respect for the unpredictable nature of the wilderness. The challenges posed by Half Dome are not limited to its physical demands. Hikers must contend with environmental factors such as altitude, weather, and trail conditions. Sudden rainstorms can transform the trail into a hazardous path, while intense sunlight and heat can cause dehydration or heat exhaustion. Even experienced hikers have found themselves overwhelmed by the combination of these elements. The trail's warnings about its difficulty are not mere formalities. They are essential guidelines meant to protect lives. Despite its dangers, Half Dome continues to captivate outdoor enthusiasts from around the globe. Its towering presence and the sense of accomplishment it offers to those who reach its summit make it a compelling destination. However, this attraction must be tempered by an understanding of the challenges and a commitment to safety. For many, the climb is a transformative experience, blending the thrill of adventure with the awe of nature's raw power. For others, like Danielle Burnett, it has been tragically unforgiving. Danielle Burnett's story is a clear example of how quickly an outdoor excursion can turn tragic. Her love for the outdoors and her adventurous spirit resonate with many who share her passion. While her loss is deeply felt, it also serves as a call to action for others to prioritize safety and preparedness in their own pursuits. Half Dome's allure will undoubtedly continue to draw visitors for generations to come, but its challenges must never be underestimated. It is a place of extraordinary beauty and extraordinary risk, a combination that demands the utmost respect from all who dare to climb it. Angel's Landing in Utah's Zion National Park is renowned for its breathtaking views, but it also holds a reputation as one of the most perilous hiking trails in the United States. The route challenges hikers with narrow pathways, sheer drop-offs, and steep inclines, demanding caution and physical readiness. Chains, bolted into the rock, provide support along the most treacherous sections, but even these safeguards cannot eliminate the risks entirely. Despite its dangers, Angel's Landing remains a popular destination for thrill-seekers and nature enthusiasts alike. However, the trail's hazards have led to multiple fatalities over the years, serving as stark reminders of the need for preparation and respect for the wilderness. One such tragedy occurred in 2017, when 45-year-old Tate Volino lost his footing on the steep, narrow trail and fell 1,000 feet to his death. This devastating accident underscored the critical importance of understanding personal limits, adhering to safety recommendations, and approaching challenging hikes with respect for the inherent risks. Officials have repeatedly urged visitors to exercise caution and to avoid the trail altogether if they lack sufficient experience or physical fitness. Angel's Landing has also been the site of medical emergencies unrelated to falls, further emphasizing the trail's grueling nature. In one such incident, a 63-year-old man from San Diego collapsed near Scout Lookout, a point almost 2 miles up the steep West Rim Trail and just before the chain-assisted section leading to Angel's Landing. When park rangers arrived, they found fellow hikers with medical training performing CPR on the man. Despite their efforts and nearly 90 minutes of CPR administered by both the hikers and emergency responders, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Rangers utilized an automated external defibrillator and a heart monitor during their attempts to revive him, but the life-saving measures proved unsuccessful. Preliminary findings suggested a heart attack as the cause of death, though an investigation was still pending. The incident mobilized over 20 search and rescue team members, including paramedics, emergency medical technicians, and a park ambulance. The swift response highlighted the challenges of addressing medical emergencies in remote and difficult-to-access areas, particularly on strenuous trails like Angel's Landing. These tragedies highlight the critical importance of preparation, self-awareness, and respect for one's physical limits when venturing into challenging outdoor environments. Zion National Park officials continuously remind visitors that hikes like Angel's Landing are not suitable for everyone. The combination of physical exertion, exposure to high altitudes, and the mental focus required to navigate narrow ledges makes this trail one of the most demanding in the park. Angel's Landing attracts adventurers seeking an adrenaline rush, but it also calls for an elevated level of responsibility. Knowing when to turn back, recognizing signs of physical distress, and adhering to park guidelines are crucial steps in ensuring safety on this iconic but unforgiving trail. While the allure of Angel's Landing lies in its extraordinary beauty, it is a place that demands preparation, vigilance, and utmost respect for nature's power. On a tragic September day in 2015, the serene beauty of Utah's Zion National Park was shattered when a deadly flash flood swept through Keyhole Canyon, claiming the lives of 7 hikers. These victims, 6 of whom hailed from California, were part of a close-knit hiking group called the Valencia Hiking Crew. Seasoned outdoor enthusiasts, they had no idea their carefully planned adventure would turn into a heartbreaking disaster. The group, composed of men and women in their 50s, had spent months preparing for this expedition. On the morning of their ill-fated trip, 6 members attended a canyoneering class offered by a local outfitter, Zion Adventure Company. Promising to transform novices into capable canyoneers within hours, the class left the group confident and ready. Clad in wetsuits to protect against the canyon's frigid waters and armed with helmets and gear, they eagerly began their descent into the winding sandstone labyrinth. However, Zion's stunning landscape masked a growing danger. The National Weather Service had issued a warning earlier that day, forecasting a 40% chance of rain and a moderate risk of flash flooding, the second highest level of alert. By the time the group obtained their $15 permit to enter Keyhole Canyon, conditions had worsened. The chance of rain had risen to 50%, and rangers posted warnings at the visitor center, emphasizing the probability of floods in the park's slot canyons. Unaware of the looming threat, the hikers pressed on, marveling at the canyon's towering walls and narrow passages. Just hours later, dark clouds began to gather over Zion. At 2:30 p.m., a band of rain swept through the area, followed by a second, more intense storm. The National Weather Service issued an urgent flash flood warning, imploring anyone in the canyons to move to higher ground immediately. Keyhole Canyon, with its narrow corridors and steep descents, offers little room for error when conditions take a turn for the worse. Early sections of the route can sometimes be escaped by scrambling up the rock walls, but once hikers descend deeper, the canyon becomes inescapable. After rappelling into its depths, the only way out is to continue until the exit near Highway 9. As the storm unleashed its fury, the hikers became trapped. Another group of climbers, who had started their descent later and passed the Californians in the canyon, alerted park rangers when the rain began, fearing the slower group might be in danger. Their fears proved tragically accurate. By the time rescue efforts began, the floodwaters had already exacted their toll. The first body, that of Steve Arthur, was found the following day, swept downstream by the powerful currents. Over the next 2 days, search teams discovered the remains of the remaining hikers, scattered at various points along the flood's path. Linda Arthur, Steve's wife, was the last to be found, her body recovered near the canyon's exit. This calamity was not confined to Keyhole Canyon. In Hilldale, a small community 20 miles south of Zion, the same storm triggered a flash flood that killed 12 members of a Mormon fundamentalist group, including 9 children. It was one of the deadliest weather events in Utah's history, underscoring the unpredictable and unforgiving power of nature. The hikers who perished in Keyhole Canyon were described by their families as experienced, cautious adventurers. They were parents, grandparents, and beloved members of their community, not reckless thrill-seekers. Their tragic end serves as a poignant reminder of the inherent risks of exploring wild spaces, especially in unpredictable conditions. Keyhole Canyon's haunting beauty and narrow passages remain a testament to nature's artistry and raw power. For those who venture into its depths, the lessons of that fateful day in 2015 serve as an enduring warning. Respect the wilderness, heed its warnings, and always prepare for the unexpected. On a fateful Saturday evening in August, the unforgiving wilderness of Alaska's Denali National Park became the site of a devastating tragedy. A sightseeing plane carrying 4 Polish tourists and their pilot crashed into the rugged terrain of Thunder Mountain, leaving all 5 aboard presumed dead. The ill-fated flight, operated by K2 Aviation, was a 1-hour tour over the breathtaking Kahiltna Glacier, a key starting point for climbers aiming to ascend Denali, the tallest peak in North America. The de Havilland Beaver plane, piloted by Craig Layson of Saline, Michigan, took off around 5 p.m., but never completed its journey. At approximately 6 p.m., the aircraft went down near the summit of Thunder Mountain, an imposing ridge rising 10,900 feet above the glacier. In the moments after the crash, Layson managed to send a distress call via satellite phone, reporting injuries among his passengers. However, the connection dropped before he could relay further details, leaving rescuers scrambling to piece together the situation. The plane was equipped with survival gear, including sleeping bags, a stove, and food, sparking a glimmer of hope that survivors might endure until help arrived. Nature, however, conspired against the rescue efforts. Low clouds and relentless rain shrouded the crash site, making it nearly impossible for search crews to locate the wreckage. For over a day, dense weather conditions thwarted aerial reconnaissance, prolonging the agony of those waiting for news. Finally, on Monday, the skies cleared just enough for a helicopter to reach the crash site, perched precariously on the steep slopes of Thunder Mountain. A park ranger was lowered by short-haul line onto the wreckage, where he began the grim task of searching for survivors. Inside the plane, now partially buried under snow, he discovered the bodies of 4 individuals. The snow surrounding the wreckage was undisturbed, with no footprints or signs that anyone had exited the aircraft. The 5th individual, presumed to be the pilot, remains missing, though authorities believe he too perished in the crash. The stark terrain of Thunder Mountain posed immense challenges to both the flight and subsequent rescue operation. Though labeled a mountain, the area is better described as a treacherous mile-long ridge, a mix of vertical rock faces, ice, and deep snowfields. The National Park Service characterized the conditions as some of the harshest imaginable, underscoring the difficulty of surviving such a crash. This tragic event marks a defining chapter in the history of Denali National Park, a place renowned for its beauty but also its peril. The Polish tourists, who had embarked on their flight to marvel at the untouched majesty of the glacier, instead met their end in one of its most remote and inhospitable corners. For K2 Aviation, a company long trusted to provide safe access to Denali's wonders, the crash is a heartbreaking reminder of the risks inherent in flying over such challenging terrain. While the company has not experienced frequent accidents, this incident underscores the unpredictable and often merciless nature of Alaska's wilderness. The tragedy of Thunder Mountain will not soon be forgotten. It serves as a permanent reminder of the delicate balance between humanity's desire to explore and the relentless power of nature, a force that does not yield to even the most prepared adventurers. The memories of those lost will remain etched in the hearts of their loved ones, and all who know the call of the wild can come with an unfathomable cost. On a stark October evening in Sweden's Lapland region, the call of adventure ended in tragedy for 22-year-old YouTuber Storm Debul, who was found dead following a brutal snowstorm. Known online as Storm Outdoorsy, Debul had garnered a small but loyal following by documenting his solo hiking and camping expeditions across northern Europe. His haunting final messages to friends and family now serve as a chilling testament to the dangers of his chosen passion. Debul had been hiking alone when the severe storm descended, trapping him in its icy grip. In a video sent to a friend as the tempest raged, he narrated the conditions with an unnerving mix of calm and unease. The wind howled against his tent, and snow had already crept into his boots. "Tonight it's going to get worse. Jesus Christ," he said, his voice carrying a grim acknowledgement of what lay ahead. As the storm intensified, Debul reached out to emergency services, reporting injuries and pleading for help. However, the ferocity of the weather delayed rescuers until the following day. By then, it was too late. On October 30th, search teams found his lifeless body, exposed to the elements with no shelter in sight. A broken nose hinted at the ordeal he endured, but the full story of his final hours remained shrouded in the snowy wilderness. For his family, the loss is a wound deepened by the vivid imagination of his suffering. He must have suffered for a long time and died alone. I keep imagining his last moments. It devastates me, his mother, Elizabeth Rademacher, said in an emotional statement. His father, Bout, echoed her grief, expressing a desperate hope to recover his son's camera, which might contain the last chapters of his life story. De Boel's YouTube channel, which he had launched only 3 months earlier, showcased his love for nature and solitude. Despite having just over 1,100 subscribers, his videos resonated with viewers who admired his adventurous spirit. In his last message to his grandmother, De Boel sought to reassure her, texting, "It's snowing heavily here. But don't worry, I'll survive, you know." The words now carry a tragic irony, showing the fine line between confidence and vulnerability in the wild. The snowstorm's severity not only claimed De Boel's life, but also delayed his family's efforts to retrieve his belongings. His father remains determined to find his camera, believing it holds invaluable memories of his son's final journey. "His videos are a priceless legacy for us," Boat said. But now his camera is there, somewhere in the snow, full of images from his very last trek. I would love nothing more than to get it back. Storm de Boel's story shows the unpredictable power of nature and the risks inherent in pushing personal boundaries. While his death is a profound loss to his loved ones and the community he inspired, his legacy endures in the spirit of exploration and resilience that defined his short but impactful life. His final trek, though marked by tragedy, serves as both a cautionary tale and a tribute to the indomitable human desire to connect with the natural world.